Hi, I'm Savadil, Savadil, no canon pronunciation. This is the first video I've made, and hopefully not the last. I've been making fake Digimon and posting them on the internet for more than a decade at this point, which feels obscene to say, but it is what it is. That is exactly why we are here today, to see some fake Digimon. Some you might have seen before, but some that are new too. First, some context. Digimon Frontier gave us the hybrid Digimon. These are forms that come from the legendary spirits of the Warrior 10, a group of ancient Digimon. Their levels in the franchise have been somewhat flexible, and I myself have used them in different ways throughout the years. Nowadays, however, I think the best way to organize them is the way the current card game does it. Level 3 for the depowered form, Level 4 for human and beast forms, Level 5 for the fusion form, and Level 6 for the transcendent form. There is just one problem. We only have all of those forms for 2 of the Warrior 10. Some media uses regular existing Digimon to fill those gaps, but I do not think that quite cuts it. We are going to need to create some new hybrid Digimon. In this video, we'll focus on the Level 3 or Rookie Digimon. Truth be told, I started this project back in March 2022 and only got 3 done, but we will go all the way today. Other people have done it before, most famously Carnex on YouTube, and I do encourage you to check out his video on the subject if you haven't, but we are not doing it in quite the same way. First, let's set some rules. Like Flymon and Strapymon, these are going to be depowered versions of the human spirits. These are primarily hybrid Digimon. They are meant to be special. So even though I usually prioritize making my Digimon versatile, that is not as important this time as making them look like their original forms. Flymon and Strapymon are considered stronger than the average level 4 Digimon, so most of these will too, though it will not be mentioned every time to avoid too much repetition. They have to be at least vaguely humanoid, but less human than the human spirit. They are described as half-beast, half-man after all. They may or may not have their elemental symbol. Flymon has it, but Strapymon does not, so it doesn't seem necessary. They will not be carrying weapons or tools. I will also be using the Japanese names out of habit. We will go through the protagonists first. Fairymon's child form, Nymphomon, named after both nymphs and the juvenile form of some insects. Sophomon was already taken. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Fairrymon's power was halved. It can't boast great strength, but it is a quick and evasive fighter that tires its opponents down before striking, leading to victory more often than not, even against adult-class Digimon. However, it is mostly peaceful, preferring to make friends and have fun rather than battle. Its special move is creating a whirlwind while spinning, Fiero Vento. It takes after Fairymon mostly, but has some feathers around its neck to reference Shootemon, and an aviator theme to match Sophiemon's plane elements. Löwemon's child form, Arbormon, named after Ehre, the German word for honor, to follow its evolution's German naming scheme. Excuse my pronunciation, by the way, I will be saying some words I'm not really familiar with during this video. I am trying though. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Löwemon's power was halved. Its combat instinct remains, but is kept firmly in check, unlike Strabymon's. Eiremon follows a knightly code of honor that drives it to protect the weak and seek fair fights. And although weaker than Löwemon's, its power surpasses that of ordinary adult-class Digimon. Its special move is covering its claws in dark energy to cut the opponent to pieces, Dunkenage. The priority when designing Eiremon was making it match Strapymon, or Strabymon I guess, since the humans associated with them in Frontier are twins. Blitzmon's child form, Stromon, named after Strom, the German word for stream but also current, referring to electricity. Again, Blitzmon has a German name. Frontier was pretty fond of German. Also sounds a bit like strong, fitting for a big boy. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Blitzmon's power was halved. Its body is capable of generating copious amounts of electricity, allowing it to function as a power source for large electrical systems. Because of the scale of this power and the sturdiness of its exoskeleton, its strength and defense are equally matched, though it is not very fast. Its special move is firing an electric beam from the light bulb on its back, Eureka Charge. A lightning bug seemed like an obvious choice that would make it feel distinct from Fairymon. I also made it slow, so Blitzmon's speed would feel more special. Chackmon's child form, Snowmon, named after, well, snow. This one is a special case. I made a design for it back in 2022. It's maybe a bit unorthodox to change that now, but I'm just not quite satisfied with it. Its body especially looks too similar to Chackmon's, and I wanted something that felt a bit more in line with the very diverse forms of the Spirit of Ice. This is the new Snowmon. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Chackmon's power was halved. It lacks Chackmon's military paraphernalia, but it can still be a very capable fighter whenever it needs to, hiding great speed and dexterity behind its childish exterior. However, it would rather play with its friends than fight. Its favorite game is using its flippers or belly to slide rapidly on the ice. Its special move is throwing hard, frozen snowballs directly to the opponent's face, Flurry Fire. Considering how many people dislike Digimon, I understand how this might be a slightly controversial choice, but the old design is still there for those who prefer it. Now on to the antagonists. Grottemon's child form, Talpymon, named after Talpidae, a taxonomic family containing moles. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Grottemon's power was halved. It is an expert cave digger that spends most of its time underground, finding treasure and turning it into beautiful creations. The vast cave systems it creates allow it to move unnoticed and ambush enemies on the surface, oftentimes piercing them with its helmet with a spinning headbutt. Drill Dive. This one was conceived as a mixture of a gnome and a mole. Since Kazemon is not really animal-like, it seemed like a good way of adding bestial elements. Ranamon's child form, Nyamon, named after the Greek Naiads. Another Greek name felt appropriate for Nymphemon's rival. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Ranamon's power was halved. It has an extremely childish and capricious personality, caring for little else than itself. Not fond of fighting, it often tries to convince other Digimon to fight in its stead. However, its flexible body makes it a hard target to hit, and if push comes to shove it can prove a very capable opponent. Its special move is shooting a balloon-like water sphere from the gem on its forehead. Water Bullet. Nyamon's design gave me some problems. It's the last Digimon I tried to make 2 years ago, but I struggled to make it unique. I saw other versions that made better use of some elements I had considered. It's also the first Digimon I finished once I picked the project back up. This new Nyamon was inspired by Jellymon's early design. Arbormon's child form, Grumblemon, named after brambles. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Arbormon's power was halved. The garden pot covering its face raises its defense and keeps its emotions a mystery. When in battle, it mostly stands still and stares silently at the opponent, waiting for the perfect moment to either dodge or strike. Its special move is extending its thorny arms into club-like weapons to smash the enemy. Prickle Pummel, a pretty straightforward combination of Arbormon's artificial armored look and Pedaldermon's organic plant-like body. Mercuremon's child form, Amalgamon, named after mercury alloys. A Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Mercuremon's power was halved. It has the inquisitive and analytical mind of a scientist, seeking knowledge about all. However, Its greatest asset is its deceptively fast liquid body. Its reflective quality and shifting shape protect Amalgamon from most regular attacks, giving it a considerable advantage in battle. Its special move is exhaling toxic vapor that affects the opponent's body and mind. Delirium Haze. This was a tricky one. Mercuremon and Sephirothmon are the strangest hybrid Digimon, so I couldn't really go with anything that felt too normal. Some things were clear. Metal, mutant, alchemy, mysticism. Eventually I reached this design. Finally, Duskmon's child form, Draugr, named after a type of revenant from Norse mythology. It's meant to match Velgormon's Old Norse name, a Digimon that was transformed into a half-beast, half-man form when Duskmon's power was halved. It has the disposition of a cruel, ruthless dark knight that torments both the strong and the weak. The dark energy stored in its Digicore vastly surpasses the usual quantity found in other evil Digimon of the same level. Its special move is firing a black laser of pure dark energy from its Eye of Ruin. That's all. These are my versions of the level 3 hybrid Digimon. The project isn't quite done though, since we are still missing fusion and transcendent forms for most of them. Fusion forms or the villains will be next. I already have some ideas, but I don't know how long they will take to make. If you want to speed up the process, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. That might help by freeing up some of my time. Like, comment and subscribe if you want to and all. But mostly, thank you very much for watching and have a good day. I'm out.